Welcome back! You've done a great job making line plots and histograms, and today we're going to learn another way that you can draw a graph to show information about your data. So let's write down our teach points. You're going to write down, I can make box plots to model 4 pieces of data, Q1, Q3, median, and range with my data. So again, box plots show your viewers 4 things. They show them, first of all, where the median or the middle of your data is. Then they show them where Q1 and Q3 are, the end of your first quarter and the end of your third quarter, if you split your data into quarters. And then they show them your range, or how big your data set is in all. It sounds kind of complicated, but actually you've already done all of the work for this. You've already learned how to solve for median 2 lessons ago. In our last lesson, you learned how to solve for Q1, Q3, and range. So you're actually just taking things you've already done and putting them into a graphic so that people can kind of see your data. Let's see how we do this. So taking a look at our first example from last time, remember that we asked people, how many of your classes are on Google Classroom? We split the data in half right here. And then we remembered that when there's a number in the middle, we actually count it on both sides. So that's why this 2 is both on the left and the right side. And then we took the quarters and split them in half again to get that Q1 is 2, the median is 2, Q3 is 4, and then our range, we took our top number of 6 minus our lowest value number of 1, and we got that the range is equal to 5. So what you're actually going to do is just take these 4 pieces of data that we've already learned how to use and how to make and turn them into a new type of diagram. A box plot. So I'm going to put the title, box plot. And I'm not actually going to use this plot line like I did when I was making my line plot. I'm just putting this here for size reference so that I can make sure my numbers are spaced evenly. Because just like my line plot, let's say I go from 1 to 3, and my line plot has to be to scale. So I can't have 1, 2, 4. I have to have 1, 2, a blank for 3, and then 4. So here, my numbers go from 1 to 6, so I'm just going to write those numbers down here. But I'm not actually going to use this line plot on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my median, which is 2, and I'm going to put a line here. And then I'm going to put my Q1 and Q3 on there. My Q1 is also 2, so I'm just going to put another line right there to show that that's both the median and Q1. And then Q3 is equal to 4, so I'm going to put a line here. So what I'm going to do is connect these 3 lines on the top and the bottom. So this is my box for my box plot. Now what we're going to do is show the range. So it starts at 1, so I'm going to put a little dot here, and it goes to 6. And these are called the whiskers, where they stick out from the box and they show you where it starts and ends. The last thing I'm going to do is put numbers here to show what these lines mean. So this is at 1, this is at 2, 4, and 6. So then when I erase my number line on the bottom, I have a box plot that is to scale. It shows where the data begins and where it ends. It shows where the median is and where the first and third quartile are, or Q1 and Q3. So this is everything you need to do to make a box plot. All you're doing is taking the first number in your data set putting it at the beginning, taking the last number in your data set, putting it at the end, and then putting Q1, the median, and Q3 on your box plot. So there you have it. We're going to try having you make your own box plot. Let's look at example 2 when we ask people, how many pets have you had in your lifetime? Now, this one has a range of 19. Goes from 0 to 19. So I have a little number line down here just to help me make sure everything is evenly spaced. But remember, when you make this on your own, you're not going to actually make it on the number line. You're going to kind of make a little number line for reference, and then you can erase it. So you've already solved for this information in your last lesson. You know that when you divide this into 4 equal quarters or 4 equal quadrants, the median is between 2 and 4, so it's 3. Q1 is between 1 and 2, so it's 1.5. And Q3 is between 5 and 7, so it is 6. So you have the value of Q1, the median, and Q3. You also have that the range is 19. So I want you to look back at the last box plot that we made together, and I want you to use what you know about how we use Q1, Q3, the median, and the range in order to make a box plot. Go ahead and pause this video, draw your own box plot on paper, and then come back and check it with me. See you soon. Welcome back. Let's check your box plots. So the first thing that you probably could have done, and you could have done this in the opposite order, it does not matter which order you do these things in. Last time we did the median, Q1 and Q3, and then the range, so I'm going to do it backwards this time. So I'm going to start by doing my range, putting a dot at 0 and a dot at 19. And that shows my viewer that that's where my data point starts and ends. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to mark off the median, which is 3, by drawing a line. And then I'm going to mark off Q1, which is at 1.5, and Q3, which is at 6. All right. So I'm going to draw a box with my 3 lines. And then I'm going to draw a line connecting the beginning and end of my data set to show my range. The last thing I'm going to do is make sure I label each of these points to show my viewers where all of these things are. So my data set started at 0. Some people have had no pets. It ended at 19. My median was 3. That's the middle number of how many pets people have had in their whole life. My Q1 was 1.5, and my Q3 was 6. So there you go. In the comments below, I want you to put some numbers that your friends could make a box plot from. Then find some numbers somebody else has posted. Draw your own box plot on paper using those numbers and post a picture of it to our Google Classroom or in the video comments, or send it to them or send it to me. Practice making your own box plots. Thank you again for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye!